This video is a first for the channel. Not only am I joined by someone else for the first time, but I'm also showing a synth that's not finished yet. Paul from PWM Instruments is here with me. PWM acquired the Oxford Synthesizer Company, gaining rights to Chris Huggart's classic Oscar synth and all the IP. And the latest update of the Mantis adds the Oscar wavetables, but taking things a whole lot further, they are now recreating the Oscar for the 21st century. So here it is, and we can see here it says Oscar on it, and that's because it will be a version of the Oscar. And as you were telling me earlier, this is the same layout as the Oscar.
It is.
But it's all squished up in that corner at the minute.
Yeah, so we start by making, we like to call it a Frankenstein mock-up. We've done this from the schematics. So Ben, the lead engineer, has been and analysed all of that, done his own layout and made a modest sized board just so that we, proof of concept, yeah. That's really what this is. And then that's the board with all the intelligence on it, if you like. That's the analog circuitry up at that end. And then these socketed processors are no longer available, any of them. That one there is a Z80, and that's running the original code, the original assembly language code from Chris. And we've had to buy those on eBay. They were but they're about 45 years old, those chips.
So obviously the synth itself won't have a 45-year-old chip in it.
Indeed.
So are you gonna?
So the idea is we use a more modern processor, something that's got way more horsepower, and we're going to emulate. I think this is the plan, the current plan, because it's all changing. We're developing right now. So, but the current plan is to emulate a Z80 on a more modern processor, like a Cortex M3, something like that. And then,
so like I know what a Cortex is.
like I know what one. I have an understanding of engineering down to about here. I'm an engineer qualified, but I work with people far cleverer than me that know how to do this, such as Ben, my dear friend Ben, who's working on this. And then we will run Chris's code on that emulation, on that chip. But then the chip, that'll have more horsepower to do other things. We're going to redo the scan on here. So totally exclusive for right now. Me and Ben have just been talking about how we do the scanning of this section, and we're pretty sure that we're going to be able to output MIDI for all the controls. So just like on our other synth, the Mantis, where every control sends MIDI, we're hoping to be able to do that for the Oscar. The whole idea is we bring the Oscar back, it sounds identical, but if there are not, there are modern processors we can use. It's surface mount, the original wasn't. So if we can add little things here and there without changing the appearance, without changing the functionality of it, then we will do. Key thing though, and I must keep stressing, the original schematics, the original analog design, we will be forensic with that. The idea when we finished it is to come back and see you again. And put it side by side and really put it through its paces and see if it really does sound identical. That's the aim.
Obviously, this is a smaller board than it will be eventually. It'll be housed in the same size.
That's right, yeah.
But this will be, you were saying this will be longer, a bit like the original one. You've got a smaller sort of section over here. I think that's where Oscar was written.
Yeah,
in the original one.
That's right, yeah. And we were talking about design for manufacture, that process. At the first stage, it's just, does it work? So it doesn't matter about the size and the spacing. The second stage is we get into industrial design. So we look at how the top is going to be mapped out. And as close as possible, we'll do the same spacing and layout as the original Oscar. It will make it about that big. It will cover half of this board at least, and then there will be this blank space here, which is exactly what you said. It says Oscar and it says
I was going to say Rebirth, I imagine.
Well, something, yeah. We'll figure that out, but yeah.
Big rubber bumpers.
Yeah. So again, some of you out there may know on the Mantis, you've got these magnetic clip-ons. Again, it's current ideas because we're designing it right now. But yes, we'd like to do something with the bumpers. The originals are about 2-inch thick, and they have an inset on them, and you can pick it up by that. And there's sockets in the end, and there's a power switch in this end. We won't do all of that. The idea is to represent them. So maybe it'll be about 1 inch thick, something like that. Might be nice if they detach so that you've kind of got that option. But in terms of cables coming out of them, no, the cables will come out of here. So that will all be out on the back panel. We'll just relocate that stuff to where it's more logical, more useful.
Something else that you did mention to me back in Bristol was The original has these sort of rubber bumpers over the panel.
It does.
Make it really awkward.
Which you can point to here. There's one there and there's one there. And on the original, there's screen printing along here. And that actually covers the screen printing in 2 spots. So there are bits, I kind of know why they did it, because the height of the bumper came to the height of the knobs. And then you had these things in. So I don't know, what's this? Protect it from a glancing blow, or
are you going to do that? Or are you going to have small ones?
We're not. We'll do this bit in here graphically, I think. I think Nick Batt coined the phrase groins. He said, "You're going to do the groins." I wonder if anyone do you think that's a phrase they use in the US? I don't know. Well, it's at the seaside, those wooden things. So it sort of reminds me a bit of that. But anyway, those will be done graphically, but we'll have 2 nice, make it look like the original, and all the colours. And the original screen print, we'll remake it, but it'll be all the same layout with the functions and stuff. So it should be cool. And another exclusive. I spent my time at Bristol Maker saying we won't put USB on it. We've had to think about this. Ben thinks he can do it in a way that is just completely transparent. So it's just there as an extra thing. There'll be no buttons to control it, none of that. It's just, it'll work in the same way. It'll just be firing out MIDI, same as the MIDI sockets are, in and out. So you'll just have that extra, usability, really, because it'll just fit in a modern studio so much better than do it. Yeah. Well, that's it. It's the why not? No, yeah, and without affecting any of the other functionality, if we can, then we will. Again, these are all things I'm talking about, because these are the things we are on a daily basis now. Me and Ben going backwards and forwards saying, well, shall we do that? Or will that work? And what chip shall we use for that? How fast will that? And all those sorts of things. This is the design process. This proves we can do it. Now we design it for manufacture, and then
when you design for manufacture, the idea is to do it as not as cheaply as possible, to make it as high quality for a given price.
Yeah, and it's got to be.
What will that given price be?
I was only
aiming for. Have you got a number in mind?
Yeah, they change hands second hand for about £5,000. I think this is going to be about £2,500. It's not finalised yet, though, because we need to get a bit further in.
Okay, so is it about Moog remade the Mini Moog? It's 2016 was that originally, and that was coming out at 3,300, which is about the same price, as a second-hand Mini Moog.
I see.
Well, when the Prophet 5 came out, that was about the same price as a used Prophet 5.
Where are you in again?
The OBX8 came out? Yeah, that was about the same. It was a bit less, actually, but it's still £4,500. It's a bit less than what you pay for, but not too far off what we were paying for an OB XA at the time.
Yeah.
So this is half the price.
Half. I mean, they're...
Yeah, so you're not trying to, screw people down to 5,000.
No, 100% not. I want people to have it. It's going to be fabulous to bring this back. It kind of ended too soon back in the 80s. It was never built that well. Yeah. It wasn't that well constructed. The ones that are around these days are highly unreliable. Some people used to buy 2 and 3 of them. I've had some people come up to me at Bristronica and say that. I've got 3 of them and none of them quite work, right? So very important that the knobs all respond exactly the same and the sound is exactly the same. Because there is something particular about this synth of its like, Chris has sound. Chris Huggett was a genius. So let's hear him. Oh, shall we hear it?
Yeah, I think we've done enough talking for now. Because it's an exciting thing, but yeah, let's hear what it sounds like. I'm set up so we can give us a little, give us a twiddle.
Oof. Oh, that's nice. Nice and gravelly. Yeah.
Like that. That's all the original 80s grit in there.
Yeah, both of these set to the first setting on the waveform, so. There's something just really powerful about it, and that's with the filter all shut down.
Like you said earlier, it almost sounds stereo, even though it's coming out, it's mono.
It does, it's a huge sound. And that's just waveform tights. Then you get into the filter to bring some resonance and some width.
So what's unusual about that is that we have the Q on this. We've got the width of the resonance, which you don't get on most synth.
And that's the dual filter thing, which the Oscar has, which we've also put on the Mantis, but this is where it began.
Yeah.
And this is the... The original filter with the original electronics, which was ray guns, set ray guns to stun.
So that's the resonance.
Yeah.
Can I just put like a little... So have a go.
There you go, yeah. Yes. And that's that talky quality that the Oscar has. It's very famous for that. Vowely.
That's nice.
Yeah, isn't it?
There you go. That's what I think of the Oscar. You know, that and the wavetables, the waveforms, and the harmonics and stuff.
Lovely. Really nice.
And filter types.
Yes, there are. So that's the low pass. High.
And again, it's definitely got that feel, that sort of rasp.
It does.
And those vowely sounds.
Feels alive because it's all burbling. It's what we love. We love that.
I'm not sure how unstable this is compared to what the original is, because you were saying it's a little bit unstable in the minute. But it just sounds big, rich, and lively to me.
It does. So all the qualities there. I think there is a little bit to iron out. Yeah, Ben's been telling me so. Yeah, but we won't iron anything out that is part of the sonic.
Well, like
character.
that first sound you played down with all that sort of roughness to it.
Yeah,
love it. Brilliant.
Great. You'll be able to pick up the original Oscar manual, and it applies. This is that product. Yeah, it's as if they never stopped making it, but it's now made today with all modern techniques and super reliable and super cool.
Fabulous. Can't wait. So when do you think it might be ready for market? How many years?
Years. I think it'll be next year. Oh. Well, no, I'm fairly confident it'll be next year. Can't be more specific than that just now. We'll get through the industrial design bit next. That's the next phase. Ben, I think, is ahead on the electronics, so that's cool. There'll be a couple of rounds of that, and the industrial design phase is more tricky. Making the shell and the cabinet, that sort of stuff.
Can't wait to see the final thing.
Yeah,
excellent. So that's comes to the end of my first ever sort of, what was it called? Not an interview, but
drink me tea now.
Two people on camera having to squish and sit a little bit uncomfortably close to each other.
Yeah, so you decide whether you like this or not. So
well, we'll have to.
Any other people?
Yeah. I was quite. I wanted
to thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was of some use to somebody somewhere. If it was, please do all the normal things: subscribe, ring the bell, join me over on Patreon, check out my starskycarr.com website as well. There's patches, there's samples, stuff to download, free stuff as well. But most of all, thanks for staying to the very end, and really looking forward to seeing the finished product. I'll see you next time.
See ya.